Yes, it's working. We are going live. I'm pinning myself so that nobody else will be visible on the YouTube screen, but you all can turn on your camera. All right, we're back. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello again. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? I hope you all had sent so many messages already. And okay, it's so good for me to connect with all of you, but I'm just seeing one face, two faces now. So I'm just going to do the healing for these two faces, these two people, others. Please turn on your camera. Guys, you do not have any idea how powerful it is going to be when you receive the healing, or even if it's going to be just sitting and talking. You do not know how much powerful it is going to be, receiving all the energy. So, how many of you, long time, how many of you are new to this inner child healing concept? Can you put it in the chat? Okay, Shakshi. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so happy to see so many faces. Okay, so we will just start with you can be a little interactive because so many of them are behind the camera, so you can be a little interactive at least in the chat so that I'll know. And we can start with a little bit of introduction. And today I will answer a few questions and then I will also tell you something. Today we are just going to connect with your inner child. We are not going to do any healing, but just connect with your inner child. Okay, so that itself going to be the most biggest thing that you can do for yourself today. So, how many of you felt that finally you're feeling it's New Year after 3 months? It's a new year. How many of you feeling that it's finally I'm feeling like it's a new year? It's like 2025. The retrograde just is like happening and got over. We have another eclipse coming, and in between all of this, we had the spring equinox. Did you experience your plants blooming for the first time after a while? Like I don't have that. Okay, I had a flower which bloomed after like 7 8 months for the first time. I bought the plant like 8 months before, and ever since that I did not even see a small bud coming, but it started blooming. Spring is officially here, even though southern part of India or even in India you experience summers, you experience what spring gives us. So nature is so beautiful, and we astrologically and energetically this is the new year, so you will start experiencing shifts in your life slowly. Even if not immediately, you can start experiencing them slowly. So just be open to receive all the shifts and everything that you wanted to receive. And coming back to the concept inner child healing, so we have so many people joining. Thank you so much for putting messages here. It makes me believe that you all are on the same page. So, yes, how many of you are connected with your childhood memories even now? Like, whenever you see something, it takes you back to your childhood. Or are you someone who does not remember so many incidents from your childhood? Like, you don't really know how was your childhood. It's just like blah. Do you belong in the first category or the second one? Like, for me as a kid, like my mom used to wonder, even now when I remember like minute details, my mom used to wonder at that age, how did you notice all of that? Like used to I still remember there was a chain which got cut, and the beads looks like pomegranates, and I was picking those along with my grandpa. I still remember that scene, and during that time I was studying first grade. I did not even cross that. Should be first grade or below that. So my mom used to wonder, like, I used to tell so many incidents from my childhood. She used to be like, "How did you know, recollect all of a sudden?" It's always there in my mind. Maybe names I'll forget, but certain pictures, like movie, it just stores in my brain. And some of you think that you don't have so much of memories, and that doesn't mean that your childhood was like not really good. Maybe your childhood was a little difficult, and your brain was shut because you don't want to revisit those memories. Your brain is like shut with those memories. Your brain cannot recollect those memories. So now let me tell you, I also have bad incidents in my childhood, like bad memories or trauma. Like, do you know the meaning of trauma? What exactly trauma is? No. Okay. So to help you understand trauma in a layman's language, or like to easily help you understand anything that you're not able to process. Your mom and dad are fighting, okay? As a kid, you're looking at that. You really do not know what's happening with mom and dad. And you went to sleep with so much questions, or maybe you were really disturbed, or you had so much pain you were not able to process because you were so small, so your mom or dad did not want to come and talk about it. They could have done something like this, like okay, mom and dad fought in front of you, we actually got along, it's nothing serious. Even if they had actually told something like that, okay, it's not a big problem. But they might be thinking like, we don't want to go to her or go to him and talk about what exactly it is. Or she could make it even more, uh, she could feel that even more traumatic or something. So they might be having a different set of thought process, and you might kind of stuck there. And even now, whenever you see someone fighting, you will experience the same feeling that you had felt when you were like so young, if that is not processed yet. And it could be, how many of you hate dogs or animals, just because you had experienced something in your childhood where a dog was chasing you. I had experienced that. Like, it was in my fifth grade, and a group of dogs were chasing me and my brother. We were running almost a playground. We went to the other corner of the playground, and finally we decided, no matter what, let us just give our life to these dogs. Let them bite, because we were taking deep breaths because we were not you know uh, able to run anymore, and it was very tiring for us, and we just stood, and then the dogs just came near us. It was also taking deep breaths and then just ran away. And ever since that incident happened, I always fear dogs. Like, I started hating, because that was like a very traumatic experience. Because not just that, the next day, some of my guy classmates in my class, they saw this incident and they were making fun of me in the classroom. For like the whole week, I was the content for them. So I was like, because of this dog only, like everybody's making fun of me. And then the whole week, went like that. So these are small, like right now I'm very much comfortable around dogs. Like recently, me and my partner went to a trip to Kodaikanal, and there is this place called Koda in a Box, and they had trained two dogs, and one dog's name is Luna. It's so bushy, so furry, and like for the first time, I had literally hugged a dog. So I was like, all that trauma just went like this, like it vanished. Even before that, the street dogs will come in front of a house. I will feed, but I will scare them so that they will not come to me, so that I can keep the food and then I'll come inside. I'll lock the gate so that they can eat after that. So I will just act as if I am like the rude person so that the dogs will not come closer to me. So after this incident, it's all like I don't have any more trauma left in my body. So what happens is that anytime when something, any unprocessed emotion happens in your childhood, you will get stuck in that particular phase. Let's say that is your 5 year old version who experienced that particular trauma. You will stuck there. You will not able to move on from that. It could be an accident. It could be very traumatic. And trauma can be like two types. One is something like COVID. Everybody is experiencing the same thing. So you are also talking about that problem. I'm also talking about the problem. We are all, stuck with this lockdown. We cannot buy things that we want, or some of you might have planned like trips, or planning to attend your best friend's wedding, or so many things. But because of this lockdown, everything just flopped. And during the lockdown, we lost so many people, and that also personally affected us. So we all have that, some of you might have taken it very very personally, and that is stuck in you. Like you cannot process that particular scene, particular incident. And that is like a collective thing. You and I, everybody would have experienced that together, so that is like a collective trauma. And then another type is trauma that happens personally to us. Let's say a teacher is coming to the classroom with so much anger and she's shouting at everybody, but my friend who is sitting next to me, she's taking it very cool, but I took it very personally. It could be something like that, right? Like it's not that the same incident, the other person is taking it in a different way, but for me, I felt it very personally. So that is trauma for me. The same, so it's like something hits only me, or it could be the teacher just shouting me in front of everybody in the classroom, and that creates a trauma. And every time I see that teacher, it takes me back to that incident. And that's the reason how trauma is formed, and you actually get into a cycle. You will be in a loop unless and until you work on that trauma, unless and until you actually decide to go and revisit that incident. How many of you had experienced, deep emotions like grief, losing your loved one, or having a breakup, and you never wanted to go back and talk about it because you wanted to move on? You think that you wanted to forget that incident and you wanted to move on. And all of these incidents, we might be thinking that just because I'm not talking about it means I am healing from it. But that is actually trauma making you or keeping you in loop. Because if you're not able to talk about it, you're still in trauma. The moment you are healing from that, you will feel comfortable to share about it without any pain. And I don't say that you all wanted to heal right now or right away. For every scenario, for every incident, you will get your own time to work on that, to heal. And I'm also planning like a couple of more free inner child healing sessions. So you can pick that one instant which you really wanted to, you don't have that courage to revisit. But if you believe in me, and if you believe in the space that I hold, if you think that you can definitely process it, we can definitely bring that incident along with you when you attend the next session, and we will go back and revisit that moment. We will literally see what you're exactly going through, because imagine a heartbreak. You are crying or you're desperate for that person because that person left you. Or imagine a grief, a person literally, physically, emotionally not available anymore. And you're crying and you're stuck there. You're not able to process properly. You're not able to move on. You're grieving, grieving, and grieving. Be it that person broke up, or maybe the relationship ended abruptly. Not only in romantic relationships, okay, we also end or friendships, with your workplace, like with your colleagues at workplace, anywhere. And all of a sudden when a relationship ends abruptly, you feel like you don't want to talk about it, or you're somewhere like stuck. You're having a negative emotion. A trauma always comes with a negative emotion. And that is when you know that this is the trauma for me. And now, how you process it. We will work on that tomorrow, but just helping you to bring that. Because of that emotion and because of that incident, you are still crying. You can still go and revisit that 20-year-old girl or boy who is still crying there. You hadn't moved from that emotion. You're still stuck there. Like that is what trauma is. Trauma makes you like freeze that moment. You're crying, crying, and crying, or you're grieving, grieving, and grieving, or you're angry at that person. And imagine this emotion that is created. It could be grieving, or it could be like sadness, or it could be anger, hatred, jealousy, any emotion. Imagine that is like a ball. Whatever emotion that you had felt during a traumatic incident is like a ball. And imagine you're holding that ball in your body, like you're hiding it somewhere. You're hiding it here or in your tummy or on your shoulders. You're just trying to hide it. You don't want to, look at that. You don't want to look at that because when you look at that, you have to tell everybody or you have to accept yourself that I'm having a ball somewhere here, hiding it within me. So a trauma will actually get stored in your body. And if it's being stored for a longer period of time, you can experience cycles or patterns repeating in your adulthood. Not able to find happiness or fulfillment in a relationship, even though that person is like a dream person for many, or that person is like a healthy green flag, whatever. But you will end up stuck with some patterns with this person, or it could be with money. Like today, I was talking about this, I will address that today. You will end up always spending. Something or the other happens and you end up spending. And when you at the end of the month or like around this time of the month, like 20-ish, you will find like you will be waiting like when will I get my salary for this month so that I can start spending again. Your relationship with money, or your relationship with parents, your relationship with your partner, or with your health. Like, okay, keep health aside. We will talk about this. These patterns will keep repeating, repeating, and repeating unless and until you decide to go and visit your trauma. When you revisit that memory and when you start working on healing them, this will move, like, this will um, like it will just fade away, or some magical things will happen, like how this relationship changed with this person, or the patterns finally broke, and you will feel very happy. But you do not really know consciously that just because of addressing this, something like this happened. But this is how it works. And now coming to health. Imagine you're storing this ball inside your body for a longer period of time, and the ball gets stronger and stronger and stronger, sometimes even bigger and bigger. And based on which emotion it is, the ball goes and sits in a different place. Okay, if it is anger, it goes and sits in your stomach. If it is anxiety, sits somewhere from your throat to your heart. Okay, so based on this emotion, imagine the ball is moving around here. Like, for example, I'm an anxious person because someone had created anxiety for the first time, and I am always worried about that because I did not process that. So my anxiety will be traveling some, like the ball of this anxiety will be traveling from my heart center to the throat center somewhere. And if I'm holding this for a longer period of time, say 10 months, 1 year, 2 year, then this anxiety will show up as a physical illness in my body. And what can happen? You will start having acidity issues, that burning sensation, or it will show up in one way or the other. And now imagine the anger is like a ball and it sits in your stomach. Somewhere it can go to any part of your stomach area. It goes to your kidneys. If it goes to your kidneys, it becomes kidney stones. And if it is going even more deeper, it goes and sits in your ovaries. And if it's sitting in your ovaries, it becomes ovarian cyst. So many of my clients are experiencing PCOD and all of that. And whenever I check with them, they always have anger issues. So this is something very, very, interconnected, and you wanted to understand that. So any emotion that is unprocessed, either it will show up as a pattern emotionally, or else it will show up in your body. And it can also go to as resentment. You're not able to forgive someone. You have so much anger. You're not able to forgive someone. What happens? If it is going to go to its maturity level, like extreme resentment, and you're not able to process it, and it's been like years and years, that creates cancer. So the moment you start working on forgiving people, then the cancer will be gone. Like literally. You have heard about Louise Hay, and she is someone who had healed her own cancer because she had changed her thought patterns, and she had healed so many things, like mentally and emotionally, and that reflected in her body, and she was cancer free. And that is when her turning point in her life happened. She started preaching about this, and she had done so many amazing things. I think I don't want to talk about her so much because you all know that. So now today we will connect with that inner child, because how many of you agree that you have inner child wounds or like childhood trauma? Like, it's not like judging you, but the truth is, everyone on this planet will have their own inner child or childhood trauma. Because even if you're born in a very wealthy family, you have everything. Your parents are giving you everything. They will also go through childhood trauma. It's not like if someone is rich, they will not go through some. If someone's parents are very, healthy in communicating, and their relationship is so good, doesn't mean that you will not have. Obviously, they are creating a healthy environment, but you are also someone who goes out to play, who goes out to school, and all of that. You might experience trauma somewhere or the other. uh, Not, it's not like if you're not experiencing trauma, then that is not even in this lifetime. So everyone in this lifetime, they will definitely go through trauma. So if you will definitely might have gone through trauma, sometimes you are not in a place to realize that, oh, is this a trauma for me? Sometimes you might be thinking that my life was so good, I don't even remember anything bad happened to me. And when I say bad, doesn't mean that like a very serious traumatic incident, like losing someone at a very young age, or witnessing a very difficult thing like in front of your eyes, maybe an accident, or maybe a flood, or something like that. So I know a friend of mine who was living in Kanyakumari, and I think that was the first tsunami that happened right in front of his eyes. He lost his father. So because of the tsunami wave. So like those things would be really, really traumatic, right? So sometimes, we think only bigger things are traumatic, even smaller things. Like you lost your pen at school, and your parents do not even, ask you any question, or they do not scold you, but you believe that, oh my God, I lost my pen. I think my mom is going to scold me. Or you lost like a 10 rupee, that pocket money that your parents gave you, but you lost and you're very scared to tell this to your parents. That is a trauma. So you cannot really judge this is a small trauma or this is a big trauma. Like for you, you can categorize this is a small trauma or big trauma. So let's say you had lost a pen, and for me, it seems like a very silly thing. And I cannot judge that this is a small trauma for you. For you, that losing that pen could be the big T. Something else, like a dog chasing, could be a small T. For me, dog chasing is the big T. So it depends. It is completely, so you never can judge someone's traumatic experience in their life saying that this is not even a trauma. I had experienced so much, especially with relationships, that when the dynamics get really unwell, you might not tell. When someone is talking about their thing, their stuff, you feel attacked, and you know what? I had gone through so much than you. And we keep, competing with the other person talking about our traumas. But understand this, never do this. You know what are your small t and big T. When I say big T, it's bigger trauma and smaller trauma. Like based on your own experiences in your world, you cannot judge anybody else's traumatic experiences. And if someone else is doing that for you, you do not want to receive it. It's like you did not even ask for a handbag in the showroom, but that person is coming and offering you a handbag. You'll be like, no, I did not ask. And you move on. Something like that. You are saying this to me, and I don't receive this. You just move on. So you don't do this, and you don't receive that as well. So now let us connect with the childhood. Everyone would have related with different incidents, especially with traumatic incidents right now, because we are talking about trauma. But can we take a moment to think about some good things happened in our childhood? Like the times when you went for your first picnic from school, or the first trip as a teenager, or the first outing, maybe only one adult accompanied you, maybe your friend's parents or your parent, and all the other kids were going along with them. It could be a street shopping, or maybe some beautiful things that you experienced in your childhood. So today we are going to reconnect with that inner child, and tomorrow I will find a slot and I'll let you know. We will do that inner child healing tomorrow. So today I want all of you to slowly um, come back to this space. Whatever you're doing, just allow yourself to fully be present in this moment, so that we can. This is going to take like just 5 to 10 minutes. So just make sure that you are going to be fully present. And I am going to add a music in the background. Oh, I think if I add the music in the background, I will get copyright issues on YouTube. All right. So I'm not going to add. Let's see how it is. I want all of you to now, if you need to drink water, you can drink water. And then let's get started. All of you ready? At least now all of you turning on the camera. That's nice. Thank you, everybody. Drink your water and let's do this. Close your eyes and connect with yourself. One hand on your heart center and the other hand on your stomach. Because your sacral chakra, the chakra that is below your belly button, is the one that connects with your inner child. So one hand on your heart center and the other hand on your sacral chakra, your belly button, like 2 inches below your belly button. Take a deep breath, inhale and exhale through your mouth. Relax your body. Slowly take a deep breath again. Inhale and exhale through your mouth. Relax. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale. And imagine we all are time traveling right now. From 2025, 22nd March, to going back in time, like how a train travels in the tunnel, like that. And you're going back in time in your 1990s or 1980s, wherever you were experiencing your childhood, and stop at a moment where you were so happy. Whatever randomly comes, you can pick that up. A happy moment. You need not literally consciously choose which year should I go. You can literally pick the incident that comes to your mind randomly and connect with the way you were looking. How cute you were looking when you were so small. Were you so naughty? Were you an excited kid? Or maybe you were reserved and introverted? Or you're very talkative? You love to just keep talking about things you love to your friends. And Just connect with the way you look. And in that incident, if you remember, what is that dress you were wearing? How was your hairstyle? Do you remember the color of that dress? Did you wear any ornaments or something? Connect with that. Connect with the colors. Connect with yourself, how you were looking, how innocent you were looking, or how joyful or naughty you were looking. And how was that happy moment for you? Who were there with you when you experienced that? Was it your parents? Was it your friends? Was it your neighbors? Was it with your grandparents? Because most of them might connect with summer holidays, vacations at grandparents' place. And how was the space? Is it inside a home or is it outside or is it with nature? Is it in the play area? Is it a park or are you traveling? What was that happy moment? If you could remember how other friends were looking, you can connect with them and connect with the place, connect with the activity that you were doing, literally. And what made you happy at that moment? As a little kid, how happy you were in that moment. And now this adult version is walking into the scene. You, as an adult, 25-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, at whatever age you are at this moment, you, as an adult, you're going and walking towards that little kid. You're gently looking at her or him and playing. Whatever this little kid is doing, you are not touching, but you're just being there, not creating any fear, but you're just being there and joyfully playing along or watching the rainbow together or traveling in that bus with some songs and enjoying together. Just look at this little girl or boy, look at him or her, and how happy this little version of you is. As an adult, just observe this innocent smile, innocent joy, innocent excitement that your childhood version is having. And you know what? Every single day, if you can take like 5 minutes like this to just connect with your inner child, your subconscious will be very flexible to rewire, and your healing will be in a very beautiful phase. It takes just a little time for any kind of trauma to heal. And all it needs is just few minutes of your daily routine to spend time with your little kid in you, that younger version of yourself, and how happy and excited it is to just get back to yourself. And can you now think about all the things that you love during that age? Your favorite food, your favorite color, your favorite place to hang out, your best friend whom you're not even in touch with, maybe, or maybe that adult one whom you were looking like an inspiration, that senior in the class, like in the school, or maybe that neighbor, sister or brother who were little elder to you and you were looking at them like your inspiration, or that vehicle or the cycle that you loved riding, all the things that you experienced at this age as a kid. Connect with everything. And as you connect with all of this, normalize that in your body, feeling happy. Take a deep breath, breathe in and breathe out. Exhale through your mouth. Gently come back to the space. Bring your palms together and rub your palms very well. And know that this little girl or boy is within you. Bring it to your eyes. Let that energy flow in. Rub it all over your body. And you can come back to this space slowly, steadily. And this little version of you is within you. And how many of you felt good doing this? How are you feeling? You can literally mention how are you feeling. Some of you might be thinking that my childhood was traumatic, but connecting with the happier version of your childhood, it just makes you believe that it was not that traumatic, or it was not that bigger portion of trauma. It was, you still had good experiences with yourself, with your loved ones and all. Emotional, very happy, felt good doing this. So good, nothing get good things. I didn't get this. Super happy to see me happy. Feeling good, thinking of the happy moments. Ah, okay. Not able to recollect a lot of happy moments. Does that mean there are some traumatic memories? The moment we start, like the reason is like, as I was saying, sometimes we just think that we had a lot of traumatic childhood, or like our childhood is filled with a lot of trauma, or like maybe difficult situations and all. So 5 year old, that's nice. So because of obsessing or thinking about that childhood was not so good, we keep believing, subconsciously we believe that our childhood was not so good. So all the happy memories, whatever that we were not really recollecting, it will go to a particular part in your brain and it will just be locked. Same thing for like traumatic incidents. You might be thinking that I don't have any trauma. You might have experienced, but just because you're scared to revisit, it goes inside a box and it gets closed. Unless and until you feel safe in your body, you cannot recollect those memories. And same goes for happy memories as well. Um, no problem. Angela, no problem. Unpleasant memories also rising. We will start addressing that tomorrow. All right. I'm so happy that you all enjoyed. I'll just take a picture. Okay. I think I will stop the YouTube and then we will have another session tomorrow, guys. Those who are watching this from YouTube randomly, you can come back to the group. I will be adding the link in the description. You can come back to the group and I will share all the updates in the